one of the most cutting-edge defense systems that the Americans have so far provided to support Ukraine since Russia's invasion last winter, is the Patriot surface-to-air missile system that will be sent to that country in order to strengthen its air defense capabilities. The transfer is a component of a new $1.85 billion military aid package to Ukraine that was unveiled in the midst of a months-long Russian assault on the nation's vital infrastructure as the long, chilly winter season approaches. The Kremlin has attempted to eradicate Ukraine from the face of the earth over the previous 300 days, but in vain. Russia is currently attempting to weaponize winter by starving and freezing civilians in Ukraine and evicting families from their homes. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken announced this in a statement. President Biden will announce today that the United States is providing crucial new and additional military capabilities to aid Ukraine in defending itself against Russia's ongoing brutal and unprovoked assault, he said. The announcement was made on the same day that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky made his first trip outside of his country since the war began to Washington, D.C. He was there to ask for more air defense capabilities because Russian strikes have frequently cut off the country's power and water supply. Ukraine is constantly attempting to repair more quickly than Russia bombs. According to Jeffrey Edmonds, a 22-year Army veteran who now works as a Russia analyst at the Center for New American Security, it becomes a real humanitarian issue when you're trying to deprive an entire country of its electrical grid, water, and everything else. I believe they view that as a necessary step to aid Ukrainians in keeping themselves afloat in the conflict. A Patriot missile system. What is it? The American Army and about a dozen American allies use Patriot arrays all over the world. Newer versions, which were originally created as anti-aircraft systems, are mostly used to intercept ballistic missiles. According to officials, the US will deliver just one Patriot battery to Ukraine. Russia attacks Ukraine's energy system once more, but the damage is minimal. Invasion of Ukraine explanation. Russia attacks Ukraine's energy system once more, but the damage is minimal. The system is made up of three main parts: a group of launchers, a command center, and an advanced radar. A Patriot battery strike range ranges from 20 to 100 miles, depending on the missiles used, and the target, which is far too short to cover the entirety of Ukraine, which is about 800 miles from east to west, and more than 500 miles from north to south. That will do a good job of defending maybe a single city, like Kiev, against some threats. But it's not putting a bubble over Ukraine, said Mark Kanchan, a retired Marine Corps colonel and senior advisor at the Center for Strategic and International Studies. In total, the value of the batteries and accompanying missiles could be about $1 billion, Kanchan estimated. Ukrainian soldiers will need weeks, if not months, of training early in the conflict, U.S. officials had resisted the idea of sending a Patriot system to Ukraine. The issue of manpower was perhaps the biggest barrier. One missile battery typically has about 90 positions assigned to it. Additionally, the required training is extensive. According to Army recruitment materials, course lengths range from 13 weeks for a launching station operator to 53 weeks for a maintenance role. Americans are anticipated to train Ukrainian soldiers in Germany. Hundreds of Ukrainian soldiers already visit Germany every month for training in other weapons. Officials from the Pentagon recently declared that they would increase that number early in 2019. Even with a hurried schedule, the Patriot system probably won't be ready for use until late winter or early spring, possibly in February or March. This is because of the training requirements. Kanchan warned that the rush to get the system operational might backfire. Hasty training could result in inefficient operation, and in the worst case, Ukrainians might not be able to stop Russians from destroying the system. According to him, this could weaken the political will to send Ukraine more aid in the future. That wouldn't be a problem if the Ukrainians had a year or two to adapt to the system. They don't have a year or two, which is the problem. They intend to carry out this in a few weeks, said Kanchan.